Looking for the right answers to hard and sometimes confusing global events? Look no further. SSM's team brings unique perspectives from across the globe. Our in-depth independent reporting is to make you better understand the world as we evolve. In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes program is Africans in Diaspora and at Home's leading English news network, one of the most trusted, respected sources for news updates on current affairs as they affect global Africa.
Right on time. Good afternoon, viewers around the world. You're welcome to SSM Friday World Affairs. World Affairs is our day, the Friday we bring international news to our viewers. And joining me in faraway Toronto, Canada is my one and only big brother. Who is my big brother there?
Yeah. Greetings from Toronto, Canada to you all, nice. Our viewers, our loyal viewers. We welcome you to our Friday International News. It is a good day indeed. And we have a lot of stacked up information for you. So stay tuned. We are here for you.
Nice. George, I like the energy when you make our people feel good. You're welcome, big brother. Yes. So yes, this is it. We give news update, like we say, from the Nigerians, the Africans in the diaspora standpoint. Mm-hmm. And this morning, George, let's start with the National Executive Council that has approved about 83 billion naira thereabouts, a trust fund for flood response, because the flood is destroying our people, George. Houses are sinking, vehicles, things are some disaster there. What do you have on that, George? Do you have that story?
Yes, I do have a story. I was, reviewing it yesterday. They approved 83.2 billion.
Yes.
Active flood response is a very welcome news. I know how many times we have been here. We've been talking about when it happened, the Middle Belt, Cameroon, giving excuses whether they're going to be, allowing the flood to come to Nigeria or whatever the case might be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, our cries have gone to the ears of the government.
Nice.
Now, so there is a welcome shift. And, from the usual pattern of reacting after disaster have already caused widespread damage. If properly, this fund is properly managed, we can strengthen our early warning systems, emergency preparedness, and flood mitigation efforts, helping to save lives, protect communities and reduce economic losses. The real test, however, will be the transparency, accountability, and ensuring that these resources reach the vulnerable areas before the flood arrives. That's what we
vulnerable areas, George. Let's hold on. What you're saying sounds real nice to hear to the ears. But let's bring in our man Femi Oke. Femi Oke is right there in London, UK. I hope so. Is he back to his station? Femi, are you still in Canada?
I'm in London now.
Okay.
I'm in London.
You're in London now. Good. We're good.
That's right.
We're good. Nice.
Nice to see you, George.
I'm awesome. I hope the impact you put on you is still there.
Yeah. I have to give it up to George. He was a good host and he really looked after me. And I can say that the Canadian Nigerians know how to party for sure.
Yes. George, I heard Canada is the place now. I heard social life within the Nigerian community in Canada is awesome. You say you guys organize things real well, That's nice. And that way also, George, since you're also a front man, you're an arrowhead in such events, let's begin to harness the diaspora power in Nigerian politics.
Okay,
you see, it's nothing. It's nothing if we just do all of this and home is still in disarray or home is not, So use your power also and bring most of our Nigerians, because Nigerians in diaspora have lost interest in the politics. But we need to let them know that we can all be part of this and help bring a change.
Well,
George.
we're doing a good job. If you guys know, most of the
Mhm.
things we cry out on this channel, other
Yeah.
channels will pick it up and start crying. The government
Okay.
will hear, the government are responding. This
Yes.
particular situation we're talking about now is
Uh,
number one. I remember last year, 2 years ago, we've been crying about flood. In the middle belt area, destroying lives, people dying. But now they have brought out 83.2 billion proactively to prevent this from happening again. So kudos to the government. Kudos. But we are watching to make sure that, like I said before, transparency, accountability, and making sure that these resources reach the vulnerable areas and protect the lives of the people before their properties are destroyed by this flood. So we applaud them and commend them.
Thank you, George. Once again, Femi, we're talking about the beautiful arrangement. The National Executive Council of Nigeria released fund to the flood response. We heard flood is really destroying a lot there. So, but 83 billion naira has been put into a trust fund, so families and communities affected can um, get their life back. So what do you say about that, Femi?
My view is it's a drop in the ocean because you've got to remember we've got global warming, climate change, everything is changing. And until we actually address the root problems, this is going to become a recurring situation over the years. And people tend to, especially in the middle belt and in lots of southern areas, and even in the north, they tend to build clusters of accommodation and housing because of population expansion in the floodplains, which used to be the floodplains, is now where people are living. So that creates another problem. So what we really need to do is we need to focus on the root problems. And one of the root things we need to be doing is building Mambilla Dam. There's a number of dams that are supposed to be built on the River Benue, which would help to reduce the flooding, because the dams will help to control the volume of water that comes out. But because we don't have any dams on the Benue side of things, that's why we always, almost every other year, have problems coming from that angle. River Niger, we've got about quite a few dams on River Niger. You've got Kanji Dam, Shiroro Dam, Zingero Dam. They're all along the River Niger side of things. But there's not much happening on River Benue. And you see, when you look at the map of Nigeria, you have two mighty rivers, River Benue and the River Niger. So if we don't tame the River Benue, we're not going to be able to solve our perennial flooding issues. So that's the real thing. So 82 billion or whatever the money is just a drop in the ocean. We need trillions to do the Mambilla Dam.
You see, what
Okay.
he's talking
Yeah.
about is a fantastic addition, because when you think about it, preventive is better than cure. And this is what we have been doing. But at least this is a step forward from what it used to be before, because before nothing was said. We just come, we just talk about it, and the next year the same cycle goes on again. So now that this money is being budgeted, part of that money ought to be used to do a forensic investigation and find out exactly what needs to be done to prevent it from ever happening again. Like what he's saying, number one is building the dam, putting certain type of blocks and dams that can prevent the water from overflowing where people are living. So that is a good idea. So I hope the government will hear this and they will apply it so that lives will be saved and properties will not be lost in the future.
We could
And then
also do
another
something.
area is
We
this.
could.
No, another area that I want to add to this is when people are building, the people that approve in these buildings ought to know the dangerous areas. and warn people ahead of time that this is not a good place to build right now, because this place has been affected before by the floods, and warn them not to build houses there because they can be affected the following year or the year after. Until these things be solved, let the local government and the state government take charge to ensure that people are not building in areas that are very critical and could become affected and lives will be lost. So that's
Mm.
another area this money can be used.
Wow, good one, George. So, yes, we could send communique as an organization to the chairman of the NEC meeting that the vice president Kashim Shetima. He is also on the board of that fund, that trust fund. So viewers, you're hearing us live here. It's about the NEC meeting that approved the release of 83 billion naira under the a trust fund arrangement to address recurring challenges of flooding across Nigeria. And well, some people say it's not enough, but at least it's a starting point, and something, at least now we are looking into that aspect of flooding, devastating effect of flood in our country. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Let's go on to some other strong issues. Edo State in Nigeria, like you all know, is on the map. Meanwhile, let me first say that the governor seems to be doing well. Obakolo, I don't know how you pronounce it. Opebolo seems to be doing some real good developmental arrangements. So, but this time he has come out to threaten that he will be signing death warrants for criminals. And we know there are lots of them also in that part of this country, like many other states too. George, it's actually what happened was there was that case you all know last week where a woman was kidnapped, and now they caught those kidnappers. They caught them, and the governor himself had to address. He had to meet with them, meet with those criminals, and address. And now we're beginning to see what Femi Oke tells us, that most of these crimes are caused by the individuals in those states, and not necessarily the Fulanese like we think. Gentlemen, let's talk about this. Edo State, Opepolo, and the criminal situation, and him now saying that he'll be signing death warrants for any criminal caught. George, what do you have on this?
Yeah, Monday Opebelo has vowed to sign a death warrant for the convicted kidnappers and cultists, warning that his administration will deal decisively with the violent crimes. So that's what we're seeing now. And I applaud him on this because there are so many things he's done in the past that I did not like. But this one, I am with him. So the details of this situation is special courts. He said he will, provide a special court. The government plans to establish a special court to try kidnappers and cultists within 2 to 3 weeks, ensuring swift justice. Capital punishment. Under the proposed measure, convicted kidnappers will face death penalty. Okay, whistleblowers rewards. Opebelo also introduced a cash reward for information, offering 3 million naira for reporting cultists and 5 million naira for kidnappers for their, and their sponsors. So these are decisive decisions that are being made to tell the people that enough is enough. We are sick and tired of this nonsense going on. Public deterrence. The governor emphasized a zero tolerance approach, stating that he will not hesitate to sign death warrants to those convicted under these laws as means to deter violent crime. He's talking about putting them in the public area and hanging them in the public to show others that the government is no longer playing about this cultist situation. Enough is enough, and this is the way to take the war to them and the way to prevent people, especially copycats, especially those who feel like, oh, millions of naira, billions are being reported that these terrorists are receiving. Therefore, they go into it and try to do it again. So I applaud Edo State Governor Mondo Opebelo for this particular, I'm talking about positive, strong move to deter these crimes from happening in his state.
Positive move to stop criminal activities in the state. Femi, you've always told us here that it's not in all cases that the Fulanese are behind all these crimes. You said that. I must confess. How do you see this development now in Edo State? What will you say, Femi? Oh dear, I think we lost him there.
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, he's present. Okay. So George, yes, good one, George. This has to go round, George. This has to go round to other states. We have to see a situation where most of the state governors really need to hold this insecurity as an issue, because nothing can work. No
Listen
other
to
thing.
Listen to this. The recent interview that Arise News, what's his name, had with Peter Obi. What's his name? Um,
Okay, I think Femi is back here now.
okay.
Femi,
Okay,
let's
Rufai Oseni.
Rufai Oseni, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So that
Okay.
recent interview that was had, a question was asked him. He said, "Go and check the records." And I'm a witness to that. I was living in the United States of America. I wanted to visit Nigeria. My brothers were warning me, "Don't come back, don't come back." But after Peter Obi took office, 8 months after that, I was coming back. I insisted on going back. My brother told me, "You will not believe it. You will be surprised how safe the state is right now." I landed in Enugu. And I was able to travel from Enugu with a hire vehicle all the way to Onitsha, no trouble. I stayed with my brother. Usually by 6 p.m. they will close shop. Everybody runs home. This time we stayed out every single day while I was in Onitsha for more than a month. Every week we would stay out until 11 p.m. 3 a.m. in the morning, we're going home, no problem. Pete Obi dealt decisively with those mess, and it took place within 8 months. All those people ran away, all the terrorists and the people that
Yes, there was that group called Isakaba something, Isakaba group.
dealt
Yeah,
quietly and
back in those days.
decisively, and all of them ran away from
Okay,
Anambra State.
yes, good one, George. Let's hear Femi. Femi, are you there? Are you still with us? I think he's frozen again. So George, we need to really. There's no point looking for investors. There's no point looking for business partners when the state is being terrorized by bandits. I mean, who wants to come to a place where you're not safe to walk? You can't move. They will kidnap you. They will take you off your car. It's crazy. So,
It's crazy. But
the Edo State governor.
also listen to this. When in the past it used to be easy for the government or for a country to hide some of the things that are happening within, and then the people, because they don't know what is happening internally, will now still venture to invest in these countries. Now it is no longer so. We don't depend on the news outlets anymore to tell us things. People are out there on the streets informing the world about what's happening in our country. And that is the reason why I applaud every effort that is going to be made to curb these terrorist acts in our country, on all the copycats that are trying to, to copy the Islamic terrorists. So what is going to happen is when they begin to do these things that they are planning, especially learning from Opebelo, with other states doing the same thing, especially the ones in the north and in the middle belt, you will see that investors will now have confidence to come and bring their money and invest in our country, because it's a safer place to put your money and guaranteed ROI, return on investment. So that's what we're seeing here.
So let's talk about the death warrant thing. Information gathered says that a lot of people are on death lists, death lists, but most state governors do not sign for them to be taken out, because we have that mentality in Nigeria where you think that if you have done that, your hands are soiled, you've done evil, and probably some family sympathizers or people around would also be calling you and be telling you, you killed their brother, or you killed their family member and all of that. So so they say those governors just let them lie and they'll be there in prison. So, but this man is saying he's going to be signing. He doesn't care what they think about him.
I am
He,
telling you,
Mhm.
even in the Bible itself, okay, when you shed blood, blood ought to be what needs to be done in order to
Okay.
appease the other. Okay, so the point is, when these people are brutally, senselessly killing people, generals, and whoever they get their hands on, they have to be dealt decisively with it. Because with these, if they are killed and this thing happens 2, 3, 4 times, you will see the copycats will run away. You will see the main people that are actually perpetrating this evil in 2014 in Nigeria. You will see them running, because most of these people that are out there doing the kidnapping are not even the ones. It is their big men. There are stages, the
Hmm.
big men that are sponsoring them. When money is delivered, reports have shown that when money is being delivered to these terrorists, after they receive the money, you will see vehicles that will come, take a lot of that money, leave a little stipend for the people that are doing this, and go and share the money. So it is an organized crime. Not only the young people that are stealing, the people that are killing and maiming people. No, they are not the ones. There are sponsors. There are people that are in the government, people that are, not only federal government, but people that are benefiting from some of this money that the government and people are paying. So I believe that death warrant will be the first answer, whereby they will be tried speedily, brought out in the very public of everybody seeing them, because they've killed children, they've killed generals, they've killed mom and dad. Look at the ones in the principal that they slaughtered the other day. So when they are not having any mercy in doing what they are doing, we should not even look behind, because they ought to,
George,
their blood
George,
will sanitize
as,
and rebaptize
yes,
our land.
yes. George, as we're talking, our children are still in the bush. Excuse me. George, the primary school children and their teachers are still in the bush. And listen to this, George. What you just said made me remember this. The state governor, Makinde, the governor and his team have actually gotten the location where those people are. They say it's by the old Ibadan Road, something like that, old something. Now, to go get those kids needs some some.
Listen, I've said it before.
You
The
said it,
money,
George.
listen to this. All needs to be done. When an American was kidnapped in Nigeria, American government sent some people, some troops, CIA agents to Niger Republic. What they did, the way they got their one man they kidnapped, they brought him in, they penetrated into Nigeria, they were able to spray something that had both the kidnapped and the kidnappers. Everyone fell asleep. All of them fell asleep. They came in there, rescued their man, and killed the rest of the people. Let me tell you, Nigerian government, we have been playing games. When we decide to tackle this thing face to face,
Face to
we will
face.
set that money that we have been using to pay these terrorists and encourage them to continue, can be used to purchase those weapons, or hire these people from America to come here and take care of this thing quietly, decisively, and you will see them run away. We've been
Quietly,
playing games. We've been playing
decisively,
games because
we'll be
some of these
playing games.
leaders are complicit to what is going on with this kidnapper. I'm telling you,
All
we've been
right, George.
playing games.
We'll be playing game. George, you have it. This is it. So, viewers, Edo State Governor, south of Nigeria, Opobelo, has declared that he will be signing death warrants on suspects, criminal suspects. We all know what happened last week in a market called Vegetable Market, where a woman was kidnapped, but she's been rescued, and now the governor says he's going to deal hard with all these criminals. I mean, we need to. It's time. Federal government, every state needs to go into this action of wiping out terrorists, criminals, bandits, whatever name they call them. We can't have these people amongst us. George, let's look into tomorrow's action. Tomorrow is Ekiti State. Ekiti State is one of those off-key states that runs its election, its gubernatorial election, in a different timing. So tomorrow, Ekiti State, southwest Nigeria, will be having its election. So we heard that sensitive materials have been brought into the state from INEC, and INEC has begun some things. They use CBN. CBN is the conveyor of those materials so that it remains very exclusive. It's not something anybody will have access to. So let's talk about Ekiti State and tomorrow's election. George, what do you know any of the candidates?
I have little or no knowledge. I just had a little bit of news that
Okay.
election is taking place tomorrow, and
Yeah.
so basically it's off the cycle that we
Cycle.
are used to. So I'm not very well versed in their
Okay.
preparation and how
Okay.
everything is working in that place now.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Good. So anyway, we'll be watching here from the studio. It's tomorrow. Ekiti State has 16 local government areas in that state, and it also has Ekiti State is a special state, George. You know why? It's still like a virgin state, beautiful state. The people are very friendly, and not much has come into Ekiti State in terms of real big businesses. You know, so Nigerians in diaspora that are looking into investing and all of that. I mean, this is one of those states you could come in and do something. It has vast land, arable land, forest, and the land is so good that anything you plant, anything you grow, grows well. So that's Ekiti State. We'll be watching from our corner all of the election, the local government election, the gubernatorial election, and all the other ones too. George, let's do some international news before we also begin to shift. We heard that Iran has approved the deal with US despite some reservations. What's the so the man Motobi has finally bowed to Trump. Is that how it looks like?
No, it doesn't look like that. Trump
Okay.
finally bowed.
Ah,
Trump finally bowed. Because every single thing that Trump condemned with Obama, he is doing. He was so desperate because the pressure on him locally was so tough that even he discovered that, the reason why he went to that ward, was not really what it was supposed to be. Benjamin Netanyahu was able to convince Trump to come along with him because these people were about to wipe them out. I applaud the war because it kind of destroyed and set back Iran, many decades back from, reaching their, that uranium thing that they were doing. So this agreement may have created a temporary pause in the hostilities, but the major question remains unanswered. Iran says it's approved the deal with reservations, like you said. Okay, Israel is refusing to commit to withdraw from southern Lebanon, and the critical issue such as sanctions, nuclear verification, and regional security are still unresolved. So why are you going to say we are having? So the only thing Trump is getting out of this is the Strait of Hormuz now being opened, so that gas prices and food prices and the prices of things in the United States might settle down. We started seeing that locally here. Yesterday, I bought gas. I bought fuel for $1.41 versus what we used to buy before, 187, 190, 193. It was almost $2 per liter. So the pressure is coming down. A memorandum is not peace. It is merely a framework. The real test will be whether all parties honor their commitment once the difficult negotiations begin and political interests start to clash. Trump is releasing a lot of money to these people, though the money he's releasing belongs to them. But he condemned Obama for giving back Iranians the money that they kept for many decades.
yeah.
And he condemned Obama. Now he's bowing to Iran.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Trump is bowing to Iran, Who won this war? Iran won the war, whether we like it or not.
Who won the war? Iran won the
Iran.
war.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
George,
The thing,
go ahead, Femi. Femi, we lost you
so
earlier on.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm back. So I want to agree wholeheartedly with George. Symbolically, Trump will say he won the war because he used all his military power, the $1 billion, or however many billions of bombs he dropped over them, devastated them. But guess what? They're only back in the same place they were back in the day before, because before, Iran always said they were never going to do nuclear weapons. They're saying the same thing. Nothing has changed. Then Strait of Hormuz was okay before. No one was blocking the Strait of Hormuz before Trump started bombing Iran. Now, Strait of Hormuz has been closed for how many months? So because he has capitulated to the Iranians. And like George said, he's given back the Iranians the money which was theirs in the first place. But when he was running for president, he was saying he's never going to give them that money. And he was abusing Obama for giving them their own money. And now he's even talking about they can even have ballistic weapons now. And so, this whole thing, to be honest, is just a joke. You understand? But it's a sad joke because it led to the loss of how many people, how many lives were destroyed, how many properties were destroyed, how many civilian infrastructure was destroyed.
How many kids were killed?
Civilian infrastructure destroyed just because, and even what's happening in Lebanon now is a direct result of that war, which was a needless thing to have happened. And the Israelis, and show that Netanyahu, I even believe that Trump is in conspiracy with Netanyahu anyway. Although he on paper is telling him, oh yeah, you should stop that little puny war in Lebanon. He's not taking it seriously. So basically, he's given Netanyahu carte blanche to do whatever he likes. And so long as the Israelis are bombing Lebanon, there will be no peace.
But let's give it up to the Iranians and their real steadfastness in holding on. I mean, upon every of their core their leaders, these people still went on. It's likened to a snake that has been that its head has been taken off, and the body is still moving and still doing things. So it has not been real easy for everybody globally. The world has gone through a lot with this Iranian.
Yeah, okay, another issue where we have to understand.
Yes,
Iran has been, sponsoring Hamas, Hezbollah, and
that's
the rest
true.
of them,
That's
and
true.
their goal is to wipe out Israel. So where do we bring a balance to the whole entire thing? Because they're saying every deal that we make that Israel must stop,
I
hitting
don't
against
actually believe.
Hezbollah. Say that again.
I don't believe that Hezbollah's goal ultimately. I don't believe Hezbollah's goal ultimately is to wipe out Israel. What they really want, what all these people want, is to have two states, Palestine and Israel, side by side. But what is happening now is that people like Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, doesn't want any Palestine. And so because he doesn't want any, he's gone to war with Lebanon, with Syria, with Yemen, with every country in the area. He's bombed them practically, So at the end of the day, he's the aggressor, to be honest. Those other people are fighting back, but really they don't have any say because they cannot overcome the state of Israel, which has got nuclear weapons, and the amount of bomb damage that if you throw 2 or 3 rockets, even 1,000 rockets, which kill nobody, maybe killed 10 people or something, but how many thousands die on the other hand? So you hit someone with a pin and they hit you with a sledgehammer.
Okay, see what is happening is this, okay? Because this is something that I have really studied. If you talk about Hezbollah, Hamas, and these other people that are operating through the seas, it's open. It's not a hidden secret. It is open.
Houthis.
Right. The Houthis. Iran is sponsoring them. They're not hiding it.
No, but that's a fact, Femi. This
So,
is a fact. It's not.
the point is this.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying
Okay.
that. But they're doing that.
Remember,
They're all doing that so that Palestine can be free. If there was a peace pact with Palestine, there will be no Hamas. There will be no Hamas, and there will be no Hezbollah.
Listen, it's more than that. It's much more than that. That is only one patch of the whole disagreement between Israel and Iran and the rest of them. The bottom line is, if you remember, how do you pronounce him, Hamajinagad or whatever his name was when he was leader, he never hid it. It was not hidden. He openly speaks and said that we want to wipe them out of the planet. That's what he said it so many times. The bottom line to it is this: if you
how many is dead?
No, hold on. How many times would you openly come against me? Both everything you're doing secretly and otherwise, and intelligence is showing me that you're planning to wipe me out, and you think I'm not gonna. If I remain on defensive all the time, then that means I'll become the casualty. But I gotta go on the offensive, and that's what Israel is doing. Listen to this, Joe. The disagreement between Trump and the Benjamin Netanyahu. Trump wants Benjamin Netanyahu to cease from everything. Benjamin said, no, you are not going to be the one on the receiving end, because these people are out for us and they want to destroy us permanently. I will not stop. And that's been the disagreement between them. And they fell out recently. So he openly said the state of Israel must be saved, and we must make sure that our safety is the first most important thing. Not what Trump is saying, not what America is saying. I must make sure that I save these people from enriching uranium in order to wipe out our people. So, I don't blame them from doing what they are doing.
All right.
Personally.
All right, gentlemen. Gentlemen, let's go for that so that we don't linger too long on this. It's spreading. Countries are beginning to look into this social media thing. Now it is UAE. Since we're talking about the Middle East, UAE also has banned under 15 from social media, and they are mandating a strict age verification for all those platforms. So probably now children will have to, once your phone is indicated that you're under 15, there has to be a verification code that will come, and henceforth, boom, you can be on social media. George, is spreading. Last time it was it's the UK, Australia, Ukraine, all of everybody. So it's coming close. Nigeria might have to do that too, and I think Nigeria needs to look into that so that we can curtail some of these excesses. Femi, what do you have on this? It was you guys last time by 2027.
I think it's a good policy to restrict the children from social media. How it will be enforced in Nigeria, only God knows. But I think even apart from just the age, even the amount of fake news and things that are going on social media that needs to change, that needs to be curtailed. AI media clips are being spread like wildfire, and a lot of them are just fake. And it affects the polity, and it's something that's really, really not good, especially as we come into elections. The kind of hype that is being pushed with these AI bots and stuff is outrageous, and people are just taking it in as gospel, as if it's true. Even my mum, when I speak to my mum, she's 85, the sort of things that she's saying, oh, but they said this, but they said that. And half of what they're saying is all fake, But she's 85. She believes everything. So even the youth, we're talking about the youth. What about the elderly? Yes, so you scare them into thinking that, all sorts of stuff. It's really not good what we do with the social media. And even our general media, I'm sorry, I'm not happy with the media in Nigeria. They've gone too far with the scaremongering and the doom-mongering to make people believe that all the hype and all you hear is negative, 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 when there's more to Nigeria than that.
Okay, last night, as I was preparing for the news today, I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw that finally Asiwaju released what's his name, IPOB leader, and they showed Nnamdi Kanu, and they showed the video where he was packing his things and then getting out, and I'm like, Oh my God. So, and they showed our President Tinubu, making a comment. And I'm looking at this. So I went to Google, and I Google, is Nnamdi Kanu still in prison? It came out. So it's fake news. And they showed him packing his things from Sokoto prison, about to be released. So it's dangerous. You see, this is a commendable and forward-thinking policy by UAE, following Australia and the UK, by prioritizing children's safety, strengthening age verification, and restricting the exploitation of minors' data. The government is taking a meaningful step to curb that digital environment. So now, one of the major problems we're going to have in some of the countries is because these kids are so smart, they will find a way. They will find a way to circumvent those restrictions. No, it strikes a balance between protecting young people and allowing older teenagers to engage online with appropriate safeguards and parental oversight. But these children, they are even smarter than their parents. So when you are restricting them, they will find a way to keep on, doing those things, and the parents might not even know. And now, if you see the way children are operating, you go to households where children will communicate with their parents, come and watch TV. It's no longer so. All the kids are in their rooms. The parents are downstairs somewhere or in the living room doing their own thing. So these kids know how to manipulate. Now in UAE, they might be able to curb that thing because of the central government being able, bringing restrictions. But in other developed countries, I will find it very difficult to be 100% effective.
Well, if the government, like the United Kingdom, will obviously handle it very well because it needs some experts. You need to have some level of technological know-how, a group of people that will really do that. It's an easy thing. There's a way it can be done if they really mean it, and they can have those age verification on every of their phones, and really put the children in a mute mode, mute all of their gadgets, and they won't have access to it. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. That's the news from UAE. UAE bans on the 15th from social media, and we know a lot of countries will be following suit. Let's look at George from your end. Obama said he hosted some stars at his Chicago Presidential Center, the new center they have now there. I know a lot of people also donated to that project. What do we see from that center? What's going on?
It was a star-studded event.
Okay.
I am telling you. The only person that was not there among all the living presidents was Trump. He was not
Trump.
invited. The
Yes.
Bushs were there, the Clintons were there, the Bidens were there. They were all there. And a lot of supporters were there too. And then a lot of musicians, were there. Bruce Springsteen was there. Our Nigerian lady, what's her name again? Sang yesterday. So quite a few number of them were there. It was a star-studded event, and the speeches were incredible, very encouraging. The former First Lady, Michelle Obama, made a speech. Obama made a speech. It was an amazing. They threw stones at Trump without mentioning his name. So most of the narratives was all about, the way things ought to be versus the way they are now. So it was incredible. And let me tell you, the Obama, Presidential Center is more than a monument to a president. It is a statement to the power of vision, service, and the community. Its opening symbolizes the enduring impact of leadership that inspires hope, civic engagement, and the belief that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary change. So it was incredible. I watched it from the beginning to the end. It was hours, but it was incredible. And you saw the president, even the former vice president under Biden. She was there with the husband. They were all dancing. So it was incredible. I really, really enjoyed it.
Camilla. Yeah,
Camilla,
beautiful.
Camilla
Thank you,
Harris.
George. George, good rundown of that event. Dr. Femi Oke, we need to have Nigerian president, also former president, come into this idea. I know Obasanjo did his library in Ogun State, Abeokuta, and that was a beautiful idea too. Something to a legacy that doesn't just end with your presidency, but goes further. You know, Dr. Femi, okay. What will you say about
we're waiting. I mean, Jonathan hasn't done his own. I wondered when he's going to do. President Jonathan going to have his own presidential center. I'm not sure whether. I'm sure the Buhari family may do one for Buhari, and I'm sure when Tinubu finishes, there will be a big center in Lagos for the Tinubu. I'm not sure whether governors can also do their. Maybe governors too can do their own. So Peter, we can do one in Anambra State too.
Yeah, when you elect enlightened, educated leaders, so those type of things. I went to Presidential Library for Obasanjo. I was there. He showed me a whole lot, even some animals that were there. I mean, it was incredible. I'm telling you, it's eye-opening. It is incredible. To maintain that library is a lot of money. I am telling you. So you see a whole lot of gifts that from different parts of the world. It's eye-opening, and
but it mustn't necessarily be a library or something like Obama did. It could be another initiative. It could be, I mean, yes, but something, a legacy that the president lives on because of his name.
They usually call the presidential center. So the library is normally involved, because in the library will be all their ideas, books, thoughts, and all these sort of things. So many things that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I think we need more of that. I know there's a mausoleum for Tafawa Balewa. But we need more of those kind of things.
We need more of those kind of things. The African nature in us doesn't make us preserve things. But I think we're beginning to have that idea now. We need to have preservations of our culture, our traditions, our ways, put it in a beautiful way like they do in the West. All right, gentlemen, I think this is it for today. Even though there's a story of Russia infiltrating into the UK and trying to bomb the Prime Minister's house. Femi, is that true? We had the Russians were trying to put us now on Starmer's
they were well. That some people are arrested and prosecuted for attempting to firebomb. They're supposedly Ukrainian linked to Russia. So lots of things happen, lots of conspiracies. Whether they did it with the direct instructions from Russia, or whether they just did it as sympathizers, I don't know. Only time will tell.
Yes,
but I just believe that this kind of politics, this kind of toxic politics, that's been happening of recent is no good. And we should focus on legitimate politics. You can have grievances, you have freedom to protest, but when you take it to extremes, that's just not legal. It's not allowed, and it should be condemned by everybody. It's like when you're on social media in Nigeria, you see people celebrating when they throw stones at politicians and things like that, and it's just not. It should be condemned in its entirety. Just because they're maybe condemning someone that you oppose, then you'll be celebrating it when it's completely illegal. I don't support that kind of politics, and we don't need toxic politics. Say your opinion. Let everybody have a freedom to be able to say what they want, so long as it's respectful and everyone's allowed to their own opinion. You can't stop people from speaking, but you don't need to then want to kill them, or you're going to stone them. We're going to do this. Because you support Tinubu, wherever you are, we're going to destroy you. We're going to do. This is ridiculous. We need,
it's not only a Nigerian thing. The white people do. Europeans do it. They stone.
I'm speaking of the Nigeria. I'm speaking of Nigeria.
They do worse than Nigerians. Here, they hold on. They carry eggs and stone their politicians' eggs. Eggs, can you imagine? And the man will be selling eggs as he
Yeah, but
goes home.
eggs is not the same as stoning people with rocks and things like that, or firebombing their houses, like what that's trying to do to Keir Starmer. I mean, aggression, physical aggression should never be condoned.
You won't blame some citizens. Sometimes they feel that
we shouldn't blame them. I mean, you're excusing them. We must blame any form of aggression.
Okay?
Any form of aggression should not be tolerated.
But I'm saying, the human have his way of reacting to things. Sometimes a spontaneous reaction. They just feel this man has not done good to us. This man is.
So you're justifying criminality now. That's what it sounds like.
Let me come in for a minute.
I'm listening.
Let me come in for a minute, okay? These allegations are accurate, actually. The one concerning Starmer, okay? They expose a troubling evolution of modern warfare, where disinformation and social media manipulation and proxy actors are used to destabilize society from within. So these are hired people sometimes. These are hired people. Locally here in Canada, there are so many people that are being hired, youths that are being hired with guns to go to Jewish centers and spray bullets there. And these are hired from outside of Canada. And Canada is investigating it. So it's a different type of situation altogether from what used to happen. So, however, accusations of state involvement must ultimately must be backed with clear and verifiable evidence, which I believe that UK have done. In matters of this seriousness, facts and accountability are essential and not speculation. So what I'm telling you is this: there are people that are on top hiring locals, paying them good money to go and spray messages, bullets all over the place to bring terror to people. That should be condemned. We are not animals, we are human beings. In Nigeria, for instance, our culture demands that we respect elders. So when politics is involved, we must bear that in mind. When we speak, we must disagree with respect. Okay? So that's what I believe. There are things you can do in North America and get away with it. If you do it in Nigeria, it's offensive and must not be allowed. In most of these UAE and Arab countries, dare you not open up and speak against your leader in a way, you'll be missing and nobody will find you anymore. So where you are, whatever, it doesn't matter where you are, you must be respectful to elders. You can bring your opinion respectfully, disagree respectfully, and then still make a point rather than all this nonsense that is going on. And Russia has been doing this, and they must openly be condemned that that's not the way to go. We must stop it. There should be zero tolerance for such. Zero tolerance. So I am with Femi on this. It doesn't matter how you feel. You can't go around, using, reacting to such things when it's not supposed to be that way.
All right,
so
then.
We must be careful.
We must be careful. Viewers, we must be careful. So I'm on your side, guys. I'm on the side of being careful and doing things right, doing the right thing, not just turning ones.
By the way, on a good note,
tell us.
On a good note, yesterday, Femi's presence in our community gave us a little bit of strengthening. We gave 6-0. 6-0.
Yeah. Well done, Canada. Up Canada.
So that reminded me of many years ago when Canada first entered into the football or the soccer, and Nigeria gave Canada 8-0. Many years ago. So now
that was good. Canada's done very well.
Yes. All right, guys, gentlemen, I want to thank you for hanging on through the week, all of the news outlets, days. Femi, it's good to have you back at your station.
I've got one thing to say.
Tell us, Femi.
So World Cup is great, and I'm wanting that. And I wanted to know, I want everybody to watch one of our presidential candidates, Peter Obi. He's been out there speaking one-on-one with Rufai Hosseini. I think you need to watch that video, because when you want to vote for someone, you need to listen to hear what they have to say, and show that they say they want to rule you. Go and find out exactly what they are talking about. So don't hear it from me or anybody else. Listen to them themselves. So if you got any chance, watch that
one
video.
thing I'm going to say, my observation with the man Peter B is he's a little bit, he talks a little bit out of context. He's not getting briefed. His team, or whatever way he could have done it, he's not getting information on issues, and he comes to say it, and it's an error. I'm saying this on this network. I hope his people will hear and he will hear. It's an error that as a figurehead, you don't just say anything because you want to talk. You have to be saying things that are factual and verified. So I've observed that myself. I like him. I can't vote here in Diaspora, but if I can vote, I'll vote for him. But he's not saying things. He's not saying accurate words. He's not giving factual statements. He's saying a lot of things out of context.
I rather the people make that decision. I'm not going to speak for them. They can decide.
I've said mine. I've said mine, and I stand on what I said.
Okay.
George, that's my comment.
Well, I understand where you guys are coming from. But what I can say watching that program was a lot of pressure was on him to release details about what he wants to do, and he refuses to do that. Okay, he refuses to do that for a reason, because there are politicians who will copy exactly things that he wants to do.
That's true. No, George, my own is not with the interview. No, George, sorry, George, I need to tell you, mine is not the interview thing. I don't watch other people's network. I watch our network. I don't know what you guys are saying. Mine is the conversation he had with Nigerians in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, that's another thing he said there. Yeah, I watched that one too.
There are some comments.
About the university. I know exactly what you're saying. But what to George's point though, I completely disagree with you, George. Because if you say you want to be president of Nigeria and you say you want to do things, people need to know how you expect to do it. And then if you're saying people are going to steal your ideas, remember your ideas are for the betterment of Nigeria. So for you keeping a secret what you know is going to be for better for Nigeria, to me that's senseless. The sooner you get it out there, the sooner you get it out there, the better. So even if you don't do it, if the person in office does it, it doesn't matter. At least you can say, well, they took my idea and they made it a reality. Everyone will know that you brought that idea to the fore. But you keeping it a secret and you don't get into government, it doesn't help anybody. So, that's my view anyway.
Listen to this. Femi, what you are now saying is good, because one finger is pointing at Peter Obi and four is pointing at you and Asiwaju. Asiwaju was not able to even open up his mouth to answer any question. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I agree. I'm not absolving anybody. I'm not absolving anybody. I'm not absolving the president, and the president should come out clean and have public interviews and do town hall meetings and speak to the public. I think he's not doing it, and that's outrageous. And we need presidents. We need presidents and presidential candidates that could come out clean and clear and speak to the people freely and not be scared to talk to them. And as I say, I condemn President Tinubu for not coming out, and I condemn those who say they've got ideas and they're keeping it close to their chest. It's a bit silly.
Well, it could be silly. It could be silly, but I can tell you one thing. Right now, as it stands, once everything is done and they're out there on the street, they will start to educate a lot of people. Now, for now, they are just laying a foundation. That's what I believe. Now, maybe Peter Obi will listen to what we're saying and find a way to be able to articulate what he plans on doing. And also, we expect Asiwaju to do the same. Because, that's how people can tell, okay, I'm going to choose this versus this or that. But, most of our leaders these days, they don't even want to do that, because the election does not won on grounds of people being educated on how you're going to do things. It's one another way, which is a secret, whatever we do in Nigeria. But we need to really stop that. Because let me tell you something. A lot of times when you understand the way politics is played in Nigeria, it is not democracy. It's democracy. And we need to stop it. Thank you.
We need to stop it. All right, gentlemen. I want to thank you. Viewers, I want to thank you for being with us all through the week. Between the Lines, Wednesday, African Update, and today, International Update. And indeed, it's been awesome. Femi, it's good to have you back in your station. Now we'll see more of you. Sir George, thank you. Viewers, this is it. We have to bring it to an end here. The election tomorrow, the Ekiti election, hopefully we'll be running live events too. So if you want to get updated, you can hook up with us. Let's see how it goes.
Another victory for APC.
That will be a test for the new INEC man, the new INEC boss. Go ahead, Femi.
Another victory for APC loading.
You think so?
I don't think so. I know so. I can guarantee that one. Let's wait and see.
APC again. APC again. Okay, let's see how it will go tomorrow. Ekiti State, Nigeria, Southwest Nigeria will be having this election. So until then, join us tomorrow morning when we'll be running the live event. So have a beautiful weekend also. It's hot in most of Europe, Western Europe. So get some water, stay in cool places, and enjoy the summer. Thank you, George.
I'm even wearing windbreakers in Canada because it's so cool. We are still on 23, 24. Amazing. So we have the best weather right now. So,
you have the best weather.
I'm sweating.
I know.
George, we're doing close to 40.
40. I know. Don't worry. 40. We're enjoying for you guys. We're enjoying. Tell me, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Yeah. Keep on drinking that water. We're with you.
I'm drinking my water here.
All right, viewers. Have a splendid weekend. May the Lord keep you and bless our country, Nigeria. Expose all corruption, remove bad leaders, and put righteous people in power, that we may be able to go to that paradise that God has designed for Nigeria to be the giant of Africa. Peace out.
Nice.